Got a Canon xm2 here, which kept coming up with that dreaded eject tape fault. And after 2 days of pulling this thing apart and testing everything, I found out what it is. And it is quite an easy fix. I put this thing on macro. I can't do it while I'm recording. Damn. Okay. Hopefully there's enough resolution. There's a magnetic gear set under here. You undo that screw, and that screw, and pull it out. You pull the magnetic gear apart. There's a little plastic washer in there. Just remove it. Put the gear assembly back together. It allows the magnet to get more pull on the metal ring that it's basically like a clutch. We'll call it a clutch assembly. By removing a little piece of a little plastic washer, that has a lot more grip. But what the actual trouble is, it's not, this is part of the trouble, but I'll flip it over. There's an idler gear in here, and depending where the mechanism is and what mode it's in, this gets driven by that magnetic gear, and what flicks it back and forth is the resistance of the gear to the spindle itself. This becomes loose. So what you have to do, this comes out when you take out the magnetic gear, and what I did is I repunched the center of it with a small star screwdriver and put more pressure on it so it's harder to move. If you haven't got friction between this part of the gear here and that middle part, it won't flick across. It'll just sit there and spin. If it doesn't flick across, it won't go onto there, and it won't drive these. If it doesn't drive these, the tape won't turn and it'll spit the tape out, or basically it'll come up with that tape error fault. So that is the problem with these cameras. It's probably a component there, it's worth all of about 10 cents. So anyway, I'm going to put this one back together, and it should be a worker. So that's it there. That needs just a bit of tension from the middle. To the gear, so you just got to take it out and put it on a nice a metal block and just tap the middle of it. Feel it with your fingers till you get the right tension. You don't want it totally seized up. You want about twice as much tension than what it has when you first take it out. It's a bit of a job pulling these cameras apart. As this one here, it's basically screws on the outside there. There's some in here. That's the power bits just put in there for the time being. Screws under there, about 3 or 4 screws there. The whole mechanism mounts to control board. So it's not a job for the light-hearted, but if you do it a few times like I have, it's second nature. I could do this with my eyes closed now, but it's probably a good idea to mark everything down as you do it. All these little flexi strips basically just push on and clip on everywhere. You can't really make a mistake with it, they only go in one place. Anyway, that's the xm2 fix. So I'll put him back together. Catches.